and welcome to the 18 WJTS News for Thursday, February 9th, 2023. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam reporting. There were multiple downed power lines this morning following the early AM wind and rainstorms. The power lines were down along Highway 56 between Jasper and Ireland. A semi-driver attempting to drive underneath telephone lines was the cause of delayed commutes for travelers early this morning. Indiana State Police say the semi became entangled and pulled over the telephone lines. Gusty winds contributed to the debris and redirected traffic in the area of Holzman Refrigeration. A motorist informed a Holzman Refrigeration employee near the area of the damage just before sunrise and asked for it to be reported to the proper emergency personnel. Emergency personnel encouraged the use of alternate routes to accommodate the several-hour cleanup. Republican state lawmakers have a bill that would pay for teachers to get firearm training. Representative Jim Lucas of Seymour is the bill's sponsor and tells the House Education Committee that gun-free zones do not mean it's a gun-free zone. He wants more teachers to be armed in the classroom. Teachers would need 40 hours of training, the same as police officers. The Sisters of St. Benedict in Ferdinand are hosting a series of sample baking classes at the Monastery Bakery. Starting with a Lenten baking class on February 7th from 9 a.m. to noon, this session will focus on learning how to make fasting bread that is not only delicious and sustaining, but also incorporates symbolic references found in sacred scripture. Participants will leave with a loaf of fasting bread and the knowledge of how to make their own at home. This series will include 3 more classes: Baking with the Spirit of St. Benedict on March 3rd, Heavenly Hearth on April 14th, and Bread and Brew on May 5th. The following classes will include lessons for making mini breakfast loaves, dinner rolls, and spent grain bread. Each baking class will incorporate different spiritual themes, and participants will leave with their own loaves of bread each time and the knowledge needed to make more at home. All classes will be held at the Monastery Bakery. Those interested in joining can visit thedome.org for more information or to register. 3 bills authored by State Senator Mark Messmer passed the Senate on Monday. The first bill was Senate Bill 332 that would update zoning languages for areas around the Naval Surface Warfare Center Crane Division, Lake Glendora Test Facility, and Grisham Air Reserve Base. The bill is similar to legislation passed in 30 other states and is based on practices that the U.S. Department of Defense would like to see enacted. The second bill was Senate Bill 331 that looks to build on existing law. In 2020, Messmer authorized legislation requiring the presence of a prosecuting attorney during the deposition of a child sex abuse victim. Since its implementation, defense attorneys have been sidestepping the law by saying they are not deposing the child victim but merely interviewing them. State Bill 331 would close that loophole and give child victims the protections legally intended in Senate's Enrolled Act 206. The third bill is Senate Bill 472 and is a follow-up to House Enrolled Act 1226 passed in 2022, which established a waste diversion pilot project in central Indiana. SB 472 would deal with a specific disposal method known as advanced recycling, defined as a manufacturing process to convert post-use polymers and recovered feedstock into basic raw materials, feedstocks, chemicals, and other products. The process is currently being done by Brightmark Energy in Northeast Indiana and is based on legislation passed in 21 other states. All 3 bills will now move to the Indiana House of Representatives for further consideration. The Indiana Arts Commission, in partnership with the Indiana State Library, announced today that Inverse, the state poetry archive, is accepting entries. Inverse, an initiative of former Indiana poet Laureate Adrian Mateka, celebrates and preserves the diverse range of Indiana poetry for future generations of Indiana writers and readers. Entries are due by April 30th, 2023. As always, check out our website, WJTS.tv, for more information on the stories you heard here, plus lots of other news ready to watch or read. We would also like to acknowledge our recent partnership with Kimball International on our new 18 WJTS Inform set renovation. Thanks to Kimball International, who proudly donated furniture for our new set. As a long-standing commercial furniture company with their corporate headquarters located in Jasper, Indiana, they are dedicated to serving the communities in which they operate. Through their bold entrepreneurial spirit, history of craftsmanship, and commitment to creating personalized experiences, Kimball International's family of brands turns ordinary spaces into meaningful places. In standing true to their Dare to Be Makers of Possibility purpose, they believe in empowering people to unlock their potential and bring it to life for their employees, customers, shareholders, and the communities that they support. So again, thank you to Kimball International for all your help on this long time coming rejuvenation project. We're going to take a short break and then we will be back with a look at weather.